I'm superimposed over Ryan's head here on this thumbnail for Arpeggio Lab, which kind of looks a lot like an Arturia device, even more so in the 3D sort of looking renders they made on the website, which we'll take a look at. But I just want to talk about this real quickly, okay? So there's always something new, a new plugin, a new thing to, you know, should I buy it, should I not buy it? You know, talk about it even though I don't actually have it. You know, I'm just debating, do I need it? And as soon as I saw this Arpeggio, I thought, well, Reason already has Arpeggio player, right? The dual Arpeggio. Did we really need another Arpeggio? Did we really need another Arpeggio? Put me in the middle like this. Did we need another Arpeggio? Didn't Ryan lose loads of weight during the release of Reason 13 and then seems to have gone back the way he was before? What's up with that? Oh well, I'm getting fat as well, so we can be fatties together. But anyway, back to the Arpeggio at hand. Reason already has an arpeggiator. Dual arpeggiator player, and then obviously the arpeggiate device, really old device, which I think should be a player really, but it's not a player. But, you know, there's lots of frustration in the comments here. With a quick look, I'm almost at the end of the video and there's nothing that he said so far that's made me think, oh wow, that's going to be an absolute game changer. I mean, I think a lot of these plugins where you're basically just playing around with knobs and buttons and, oh, this might sound nice, and just sort of playing around with these different settings with these knobs and stuff. Can you just draw it in and play it in and then just copy paste it and that's your arpeggio? You know, the things this can come up with, how is it any different to what you can just play anyway? And I'm not some keyboard savant. You know, I'm pretty decent, pretty good, but not in no way am I a pro key player. But everything I've heard from this arpeggio so far is just things I could easily make just by, you know, an arpeggio basically, long story short, if you don't know, it's just a sequence of notes up the keyboard that repeat themselves over and over, basically with some minor variations every now and again. You can even see on the graphic there of the thumbnail that that's all it is, just repeats the notes in a sequence, right? You have your left hand, like he even says in the video, you have your left hand that plays, you know, the lower notes, 1, 2 low notes, and then the upper hand does this sort of thing. So the blue knob there is for the low notes, and the orange note is the orange knobs are for the high notes that play more complexity in the right hand. So maybe you'll play like a bong in the left hand, and then bong, yeah, an arpeggio. Not very difficult to make an arpeggio, so I don't think we really needed a player, considering we already have a player. And with every new Reason video and every new Reason release, I think, okay, that's great. Where's my stem separation? And where is my, well, where's the fix for the, you know, MIDI issues? Like when you try and loop something, it draws a MIDI note outside the right loop marker and just keeps on drawing, continuing on drawing, ruining any live looping capability. That's been a problem I've noticed since 12 and before. Haven't fixed it. Where's MIDI chase? You know, so I can play a MIDI note in the middle. You know, where's stem separation? So before the release of Recycle, Reason Studios was very, very quiet. They hadn't uploaded anything for ages. Oh, sorry, 4 months. For about 3 months they hadn't uploaded anything. So they'd done the release of that, you know, those free note tools, the players. You know, they'd done a video on that. And then there was nothing for an entire 3 months. Announcement of the note tool. And then only a couple of videos before that in the space of half a year. And then we go, after the note tool, we obviously had the recycle the beat, which I thought they would do a live stream for. I put a lot of effort into that beat. I thought it was going to do a live stream, and like Ryan does normally, and they go through and have we listen, like sort of like a listening party, and we listen to all the stuff. But no, it just seems like, yeah, they chose the beats, and that was it. Okay, job done. We didn't even get to hear what they made. What's up with that? Or even test and listen to see if actually they even used the sample in the first place. I mean, it could be rigged for all, you know. But, you know, so that wasn't really handled that well. And then we have this announcement of Arpeggio Lab. So for this whole entire 3 months, Reason Studios is basically, since the Note Tool release, and since Reason 13 release, all they've really done is release a Note Tool, done some updates to the sequencer, some minor updates to the sequencer, and done the Note Tool, these MIDI devices, all these little player, free player devices, including Reason 13, and then the Arpeggio Lab in the space of 3 months, and since the release of Reason 13, which was nearly a year ago. So, Arpeggio Lab, do we need another player? No. Just want to quickly see when that dual Arpeggio came out. Reason Studio, like, some of the 8 years ago. Flipping heck. Wow. Why didn't they just update that device rather than make a new device? So 8 years ago the dual arpeggiator came out. But still, do we need a new one? New arpeggiator device?
If we insert an Arpeggio Lab after chord sequencer, we can actually add to the chill vibes. But this is important. When using chord sequencer to feed into Arpeggio Lab,
see, I don't do any of this sort of stuff really very much, because it's all sort of evolves around letting algorithms and calculations make the melodies and make the music for you, not AI generated. Unison plugins are not AI generated either, they're just like these, but they call them AI generated. Running off algorithms and stuff like this rather than you actually making the music. Now, of course, as a producer, being a piano player or a keyboard player is an additional skill that you don't necessarily have to have. But still, I think it kind of makes you lazy a little bit. A bit like my beard that I should shave, but just facial hair lazy, I suppose. So yeah, I'm almost at the end of the video, and I didn't really see anything in particular that made me think, oh wow, that's not something I can do already, you know. Oh yeah, let's have a look at some of the upset comments first. Okay, let's find some negative comments. There we go, here's one. Reason 13 is one of, he sounds like this guy. Malcolm. Reason 13 is one of the most expensive DAWs out there, and it doesn't include many of the Reason Studios players' effects instruments. When they add a new player, there seems to be no introductory price, and it probably won't be included in your next expensive paid upgrade. Whoa, he's got a very deep voice, that guy. Dog boy. I'm a bit on the fence with a lot of these players. Some are really useful, others I find myself wrestling with them to make them do something genuinely interesting. Feels like they're made for instant gratification. If your goal is to make something in the shortest amount of time, are they sparking new ideas or stifling creativity? It's like music. By numbers, it's pretty much what I've just said. That's how I kind of feel. But I would normally comment here, but I've noticed some of my comments have been disappearing. I don't want to get blocked by Reason Studios, that'd be a devastation. I'm a proud Reason user, and this is tough. Ryan is great, the player is fine, but it's horribly frustrating that after all of the positive QOL steps you guys took in 13.2, you threw your hands up and went back to this. This was not even something we needed. There were already so many different ways to make arpeggios in Reason. At this point, the Reason DAW is just a dusty old display case for the products you enjoy developing. And if the community doesn't like it, you'll surely apologise later and try to win people back. It's 2025, Reason Studios continues to overlook core usability. Even its legendary rack ecosystem may not retain users. Another paid or only subscription-based offer. Arpeggio risks backlash unless paired with free significant cure updates to address long-standing complaints. Players are overpriced by $40. Arp Lab feels like Arp Bank. A set amount of anchor patterns and movement patterns you can rearrange settings, but it's essential, not really. More useful feature updates to Reason on a regular basis would be appreciated. Looks like a really cool device. Shame it isn't included in Reason 13. 4Cat, £64 just for this player. Guys, I will miss you at Super Booth this week. Why didn't you go? Because they've been disappeared for the last 3 months and working on doing players. I think I'm not a player man. I find it far too tedious to work way through all the players and their options until I finally find a result that, like, also fits into the song. Okay, Reason Gang, by show of hands, who asked for this? Reason 20 will have 5 arpeggios, 8 delays as stock devices, 2 colour schemes, and will still lack MIDI out and multi-channel from VSTs. Oh, and it will cost $299. Okay, the player is great, but instead of wasting time, make some more tools. Reason needs serious improvements on the piano roll and other fixes. It's great, but why, my gosh, why can't you work on actual DAW, making it better than Logic Pro and Studio One, all the others? Seriously, don't need another device. We need things to work better for creativity. I've put forward amazing sample ideas, amazing simple ideas that will help everyone. Reason never listens, and I've been a hardcore user since 2001. Lots of critical comments. Like all the Reason devices, it's very expensive just to get people to buy and pay for the subscription. No thanks. So for $69, I'd rather buy AAS Ultra Analog Free, the baddest arpeggio VST out, Traction Biotech Synth Master Free. All I do is arpeggiate. I'd never spend that type of money on a player. They need to bring back Reason Suite if we're ever going to get this new RE. So what are you buying for $69 dinner? Yes, basically Reason 11 was the last one you can get. The Reason Suite and the Reason Lite, and then they increased the price by $100. And then people complained, obviously, because they turned around and said, oh, we've done this to make it below the barrier of entry. Well, $99 for the barrier of entry with Lite. That was your barrier of entry. Not doing a subscription plan where people who don't want to do it now have to pay 3 to 4 times the amount to get the equivalent of Suite. You know, we can't be too critical of Reason Studios now, because otherwise we'll never be able to get, never able to get highlighted like Chris Reed. You know, I mean, there are many great or really good YouTube channels, or quite a few good YouTube channels for Reason Studios videos, but yet they never get any highlighted. They never get any sort of highlighted promotion or anything, or spoken about. Probably because they're too critical on online forums. Too critical on online forums like Reason Experts. So yeah, he deleted his channel because after what Reason Studios said to them in an email. But maybe I'll save that for another video, what was actually said and why he deleted his channel. I managed to save 100 of Reason Experts videos, however, because it's such short notice, I was only able to download them in low resolution, which makes it kind of useless unless I'm going to remake every video myself and just have his voiceover on top. Then what's the point? I might as well just remake his videos myself entirely, because he was far better at sound design than I ever was or am. There we go. So this device here looks very much like something Arturia would physically make. Is there a copyright infringement there? There's a movement. Oh, there's a moment in every producer's life when things just stop. You sit down, open your door, and instead of making music, you start comparing kicks for 45 minutes straight. You play a chord, move one note, Undo, redo, close the project, open a new one. Same result. Creative block. FUCK. Reason Studios is down with the kids, down with the people, because they swear in videos and swear on text now. With swearing and using bad language, it kind of does make it look slightly unprofessional. I know what they're going for, that kind of, cool, kind of laid back kind of thing, we're kind of the cool door, we can say the F word. I think it looks kind of unprofessional when you use bad language. Now, I had another channel that was a non-swearing channel, because I felt that by swearing, using bad language, it basically devalued what I was saying and kind of cheapened what I say. So I made a video on the other channel saying about why I don't swear and why it's bad to keep swearing in your videos. It just looks unprofessional. But yeah, unprofessional. Creative block, FUCK. Well, everything except Arpeggio Lab, because that spark is now a player specifically designed to cure insufferable feelings of being stuck. No, I never feel stuck. I never do. I just load up one of the many projects which I've finished and work on those, and I do have beats and stuff which use arpeggios, and they sound pretty good. Arpeggios. Just using arpeggiate. Unlike a traditional arpeggiators that treat music like math, Arpeggio Lab is all math. This is math. This device and all these players run off mathematic algorithms. It just basically generates MIDI patterns. But you could basically just play something like that, something like this in, and just copy paste it, But arpeggios. Yes, looks decently designed. I have no use for it, I'm not going to buy it. And I'm not going to do plus to get it. And I think they should spend their time, all their energy, bringing things that other doors like Logic have, such as stem separation, and giving us MIDI chase, and fixing those MIDI issues like drawing MIDI notes outside of the right side of the loop marker, making live looping impossible. It's not something that happens every now and again, it happens like on a regular basis. It's pretty annoying. It just shows like a lack of care to detail, because I'm not the only one that's raised that complaint for over a year, maybe 2 years now. And where's MIDI chase? Why can't we play a MIDI note in the middle? Oh, that makes sense now. I just think their priorities are a bit skewed, really. Spending 3 months or more just making new players and making a free version of Recycle, instead of spending all their time trying to work out, okay, how can we make our DAW compatible with Logic or other DAWs? We need stem separation, that's becoming a standard now, we need to get that in there, otherwise we look like we're behind. I don't know, I don't want to be negative, so that's why I didn't do the video yesterday. I was like, I'm going to be negative about Arpeggio Lab and Reason Studios. Oh well.